I think you guys should be a little more excited. He drove quite a ways to be here tonight, hoping for an excited crowd. Are you guys ready to see your closer or what? That's like it. We like to treat our special guests with honor. Everyone make a lot of noise for Fine Rich.
Everybody falls for the Fine Rich joke! Holy crap. Is this where the cold gets made? I'm from Sacramento, California, and this shit is fucking cold. And everybody's like, no, it's warm. No, it's not warm. If you have to chisel anything off your fucking windshield, dude, it's cold. Or you hit a homeless guy the night before. But you guys don't seem to have too many problems with the homeless people here, because they just turn into people sickles. But you all know there's somebody out there that you wish you could stuff in the fucking freezer, right? Yeah. You're thinking, I didn't think about it before, but yeah, now that Fine Rich mentions it, if I had a freezer big enough, I'd put that fucker in it. So I know you're asking, I can see it on her face, she was like, why did they call me Fine Rich? You know, and clearly, I mean, it's not for this, right? Because it looks like I gave up on life years ago. I got my name Fine Rich the same way a lot of us get our names. I got my name in school when we were picking teams. You know, it was like, give me Too Tall, give me Sam Speedy, give me Candy with the crutches, give me Wendy in the wheelchair. Fine Rich. And you'd think with a name like that I would have a fucked up life. All I can say, folks, is I'm doing comedy in Duluth on a Friday night, and I'm 46 years old. My life's going exactly the way I fucking want it. You know? It doesn't get any better than, hey, dude, if you want to do comedy, you gotta blow me and meet me behind the pub. Maybe I misunderstood. Somebody said there was like, you know, Duluth is fine, but you know, you can't get any head here. And the guys here are very willing to give head. That's all I'm saying. It's not too willing to take it. A little bit about me. I've been married today 8,203 days in a row to a woman. You're on, sir. To a woman. And I make a lot of fun of my wife, mainly for two reasons. A, she's not here, and B, if she were, I can outrun her. She let herself go about 8,202 days ago. I'm no longer invited to weddings because I look right at the groom and say, is her mom hot? Because that's going to happen. The last time I asked that, the guy's like, yeah, her mom is pretty hot. The wedding did not take place. Shit, man. She's uptight because her mom's hotter than she is. You shouldn't be marrying her anyway, Dad. I officiated my own dad's wedding. That was awkward. Because my mom, you know, you get that part that says, anybody here have any reason why these two shouldn't be wed? Everybody in the entire fucking room turned to look at my mom. She's like, oh no, you take him. You take him. Everything important I learned from my dad, like, if you strangle them to death, you don't have to pay them. Which I think is really inappropriate treatment for fucking paper boys. Yeah, that's awkward. People who know my wife ask this question a lot. They always ask, how could you possibly stay married to that crazy bitch for as long as you have? And that's one of those ones that I'm saying because she's not here, but it's on film, so I'll get fucked over anyway. But I'm like, well, you know, we used to have this thing. We're from California, and we have this thing, and I don't know if they have it here in Duluth. I mean, you guys have a lot of modern stuff, like you get hipsters and shit now. But we have this thing, it's called an open marriage. You know what that is? That's where you can somebody who's not your partner, and it's totally cool. Yeah, it's fine. In fact, it's encouraged. And we had this for like the first 12 years we were married, and then she found out about it. So really it only feels like I've been married for 8 years, and that's a fucking breeze. And that's almost a manslaughter sentence. Fuck. Almost. I need a better lawyer. I do talk shit about my wife, but we have the same taste in women. You know, yeah, if you know what I'm saying, guys? That's drunk and willing. So yeah, she gave me my first threesome for my 40th birthday. And she like sprung it on me. We're watching my favorite movie, and I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen American Psycho. Yeah? Have you seen it, sir? There's this great scene in which Christian Bale is discussing with two call-girls the virtues of Phil Collins versus Genesis. And about halfway through, he starts killing one of them. And that's where my wife paused the movie. And she says to me, "Would you ever want to have a threesome?" And I'm thinking, this is a setup. There's no fucking way this can end well. And I'm like, well, maybe. I mean, she'd have to be the right kind of girl. And my wife's like, well, okay, what kind of girl would it have to be? I'm like, well, you know, she'd have to have your hair. She'd have to have your eyes. She'd have to have the same kind of dimple you do. She'd have to look just like you. Smart move, right? I forgot about her twin sister. I should have known something was up when she just let me live through that one. And she's like, well, my friend Kelly at work was talking about having a threesome. I'm like, oh, really? Well, we should give Kelly a call. She's like, actually, Kelly's in the bedroom naked right now. What? Are you kidding me? My wife gets up, takes off her shirt, spends about 7 minutes taking off her bra, walks down the hallway. Sure enough, Kelly spread out naked on the bed. It was magical. Magic. Awesome. Next morning, Kelly's off to work. I'm making my wife breakfast. She's like, you don't seem too happy. I thought you'd enjoy this a little more. I'm like, well, I had fun. She's like, fun? It was great. You have any regrets? I'm like, well, I have one. She's like, what's that? I'm like, well, I really wish that in the 70s, so many families didn't name their boys Kelly. I feel like I was misled a little. Well, you know, if you don't ask the right questions, bad shit happens. I was driving here, almost was late. I got pulled over. And did what I thought would be the smart thing. I rolled the window down and I asked the cop, I'm like, hey man, will you let me off as a professional courtesy? And he's like, why? Are you a police officer? I'm like, no, I'm also an asshole. So I'm sitting in the back of the cop car, and he cracked my head pretty good on the door getting me in there. And so he's got me all buckled up, and he's looking me in the face, and he's like, Mr. Wentz, how is your head? I'm like, I don't think it's good enough to get out of this ticket. But I was wrong. Thanks, Kelly. There's a question I like to ask whenever I see really attractive women. I gotta give it up, guys. The women in freaking Duluth are beautiful. You know, is that the case? Yes or no? Yeah. And so yes. There's a question I like to ask when I see very hot women in the crowd, and I'm gonna pick on you because you know you seem to be fair game. My wife is into something. And she says a lot of women are really into this. And I'm like, I don't, you're just fucking weird. I mean, I'm proof, right? You've been married to me for 23 years. Your taste is not right. And she says, no, Rich, you'd be shocked at how many women really are into this. Man, do you like having your toes sucked? Great, I married a retard. Because my wife loves nothing more at the end of a long day than a good old-fashioned toe job. Yeah, you know. After that Kelly fiasco, I had to make up for something, so I was, you know, being a good boy, just giving her a good old footer, you know. You gotta get the heel, it's like the jewels on the boys, you know. And she taps me on the head, and I grab the shower curtain to protect myself, you know, like you do. Sometimes she's really excited, you know, sir, you know. And she's like, no, it's not that. It's not that. I'm not ready yet. I'm just wondering how come you don't ever let me suck your toes? I'm like, are you kidding me? She's like, it feels so good, you should try it. On the rare occasion that you've got some sucking in you, I ain't wasting it on my toes. She's like, I'd rather suck your dick anyway. I'm like, fucking you would. Yes, you would. It's like, no way, I don't have to open my mouth as wide. Thank you, I'm Rich Wentz. You guys have a great night.
Give it up one more time for Rich Wentz. And keep it going for everyone who performed tonight. You might as well keep it going for yourselves. You guys have been a fantastic crowd. Make sure you tip your wait staff real well tonight. She did a great job keeping you guys drinking.